Imposing more sanctions on Russia, we heard yesterday, as that invasion of Ukraine continues this morning. Here to help us understand this situation from a military perspective is retired Alabama National Guard Colonel, Air Force Colonel Scott Grant. You were commander over the 117th.
That's correct.
And you are a military expert. So what is Putin's next move? You know, we've seen them. They're moving into the capital city. I mean,
Right.
Imagine Montgomery. You have someone invading the capital, and we're looking at possibly hand-to-hand combat with people living in those communities.
His next move is Kyiv, to go into the capital city, decapitate the current government, and at that point install some type of a puppet government. So the one thing he has probably underestimated, and that is the will of the Ukrainian people and the resistance he's actually getting to that. So I think within the next day or two you can see a lot of ascending on top of Kyiv.
The president there in Ukraine too, I thought this was fascinating, said everyone stay in your homes, the troops have arrived in our city, and prepare Molotov cocktails.
Exactly. He legalized Molotov cocktails. If you're between the ages of 18 and 60 and you're a male, you can't leave.
You can't leave. I heard that too.
You have to fight for your country, which most are doing willfully.
Amazing. They plan to fight this. Can this situation end quickly? I mean, I guess we need to know what Putin's end game is, which who knows, but can it end quickly?
Well, when you talk about kinetic warfare, you have to think about running down the interstate at the speed of heat. You don't come to an abrupt stop. You have to have an off-ramp. And when you're dealing with a personality like Vladimir Putin, you have to give an off-ramp. He has to have an option. I think the next opportunity or the window for an option opens up after Kiev. At that point with a puppet government, does he then walk out and say, okay, enough is enough, we've accomplished enough, I got control of this government over here. This is a European issue that they have to be dealing with face to face, but that is the next opportunity, I would say.
Interesting. So that may happen as early as today or by tonight, depending on how quickly they advance. Resources, you told me, are always a driver in conflict.
That's correct.
Explain that in this situation.
Even going back to the days of Desert Storm, oil in the Middle East type of thing. But energy independence is huge, even right here at home. Our lack of energy independence is also a driver. But when it comes to the folks in say, Germany, they're still buying oil from Russia at this very point. So that's a driver. It's also a manipulator to the chess pieces, that's for sure.
Let's talk about U.S. troops. Will we see them involved in this situation, and do you think we'll see them on the ground?
Most of the time you never get a short answer out of me, but no. We are not committed to ground troops. That came right from the Commander-in-Chief. Ukraine is not a NATO member,
right.
So therefore they cannot invoke what's called Article 5 to be able to do that.
Which means we
thing.
would be obligated to go in there and help them.
Correct.
And that's what Putin does not want. He does not want Ukraine and NATO.
Correct.
They probably will not be. But
Right.
That's got him riled up too.
Exactly. These are consequences that come from our perception of weakness that even comes from Afghanistan. That's why we're here today. Right. The American people need to not turn a blind eye to what's going on in the Pacific.
Keep an eye with
China is watching what's going on.
Let's have you back and break that down for
You
us,
bet.
because that's just another ripple in this whole thing.
You bet.
Colonel, great to see you as
Good to
always.
see you as well.
We'll be right back here on the CBS 42 Morning News.